Alrighty. Happy Sunday, everybody. Facebook's doing that thing again where it doesn't want to show me myself. Find my page. And hopefully I'm the right way up today for everyone. Okay, where are we? Come on. Ah, beautiful. I feel like I'm the right way up. We're just going to give it a minute or two. Let's see if we get anyone joining on this fine Sunday. Oh, where are my comments? Come on. Hello, everybody. No, I'm echoing because I forgot to mute my tablet. Well done. Well done. Oh, good morning, Michelle. I can see you. It's working. Can you give me a thumbs up or let me know in the chat if my video is the right way up for you today? I realized after I finished my live last night that it was sideways. Technology, something will always go wrong with technology, right? Always, always. Give it just a little bit longer. Oh, there's my dad. Hi, Dad. Teabag. Letting everyone know my childhood nickname. Thanks. You can call me Teabags. Anyone can. Awesome. All right. I'm going to assume that my video is the right way up. I think I saw a thumbs up. Not all of that's yeah. Michelle, thanks. It has it, and it keeps changing from when I first started doing live demonstrations to now. The way you do it, the way you upload, and they kind of don't tell you when they make changes. So it's been a bit tricky. In fact, it's the reason why Naomi and I haven't done a joint live for a little while because we can't get it to work properly side by side the way we used to. So my techie husband's trying to come up with a solution on that for us. Anyway, happy Sunday. I don't know where you're all dialing in from, but it is a beautiful day in the nation's capital today. I'm on Ngunnawal land. Beautiful blue sky, a little bit windy, but spring is definitely in the air, so loving that. For those who haven't caught any of the posts or lives that have gone on, you must be living under a rock. But this weekend, our fabulous Natalie May has got 25% off her Lindy's Gang Magicals. So all weekend, Nat, Naomi and I have been doing some demonstrations on how to use these wonderful products. And I'm going to continue that up this morning. And if you haven't already, please join our Facebook group. It's called Natalie May Scrapbooking Creative Community. And also follow Nat on Instagram. If you post a product that piece of art that you've made using products that you've purchased from that, tag her in those posts and she'll share them on her Instagram page as well. Sharing the art is what it's all about, right? Cool. So I'll pop that out of the way for now. We're done with that part. What we're going to do today, we're not going to be doing sort of any finished projects. I wanted to show you a couple of ways to do some quick, easy backgrounding sort of things. So I'm going to start with these two pages and then we're going to move on to some fun with tags. I prepped this page a little bit earlier. So that's just some book paper that I've stuck down with gel medium on a 200 GSM cardstock. And this is just a blank one. Start with the book paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get two of my Lindy Gangs shakers. So if you're new to Lindy Gangs, these are pigmented powder that activate with water. And we'll watch the magic in a moment. So I'm using Darcy Denim and Kissing Couple Crimson. Actually prepping for what hi Sharon, welcome, good morning. I'm prepping for some potential Halloween ATCs. ATCs are artist trading cards. We do a monthly swap on the Natalie May Facebook page on the first day of each month. So if you are interested in joining our artist trading card swaps, we have a monthly theme going on with the crimson now. This is the shaker, so I don't need a brush. It's just a tap, 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 like so. If you're interested, please send me a message if you're not sure what they are. There's also files and information on our community Facebook group, but we love having people join our ATCs, and it's a way to try out new techniques and also share your art with the art community. So sprinkled my magicals on my background. I've just got plain water in a spritzer. And so now I'm going to activate my magicals with a spritz. I don't want to drown my paper because A, it will take forever to dry, and B, it'll run in ways that I don't want it to run. So let me just lift this up a bit and you can see the explosive magic of magicals, right? So I'm literally done. Oh no, I've got a little bit more powder here. I'm just going to quickly activate with a spritz. Check this. Oh no, there's a little bit more here. I'll get a smaller spritz bottle. I don't want to add too much more water. There, that'll do. Fantastic. So I'm just going to pop this one aside to dry. We'll come back to him a little bit later. Hopefully he dries in time. Oh, I'm just going to get rid of the overspray because I want to use different colours. So I don't want that pigment on my messy mat anymore. Oh, beautiful, done. All right, new piece of cardstock. So this one, I'm going to move to the Lindy Gang sprays. And I think, what colours are we going to go? I did a lot of blue and green yesterday, didn't I? We might use Nat's Go Girl set. Get it, girl, green. Sorry, I should have pulled these out a little bit earlier. Here we go. You might do that sort of colour. So as well as the pigment pots and the shaker bottles, you can also get them in sprays. What was that blue again? The blue is called Darcy in Denim. It's gorgeous, isn't it? So these ones come with the powder in the spray bottles, and you just fill up to the fill line. It's very, very easy. And then you've got constant activated magicals on the go all the time. So what I'm going to do here is prep a piece of A4 cardstock that I will later turn into a zine. And if you're not familiar with what a zine is, I'll pull one out soon and show you what I'm talking about. With your spray bottles, make sure you've always got a wet wipe and clear that nozzle after you spray, and that's going to stop your nozzle from jamming up. So we started with Boss Babe Blonde. We're going to move, I think we'll go to the green next. We're going to move into Get It Girl Green. So you can see the difference in how the sprays sit on your paper, because it's the exact same paper I just used with the book paper, and how they sit when you spray them. It is a little bit different. I'm going to be careful here because I am using contrasting colours and I don't want to create brown mud. Great, so we're done. What I will often do, when sometimes you want to create, but you don't necessarily want to sit here and fussy cut and stamp, or you just want to do something mindless while you're watching some TV. I'll just get 6 to 10 pieces of cardstock out and just do magical backgrounds. And then I've got them on hand ready to go for artist trading cards, for card fronts, for journal page fodder and collage, all sorts of different fun. Alrighty. Hello, Sharon. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Emma. What are my creative plans? We're just having a bit of a play today, darling. I've got no definitive plans. I probably won't be doing any finished products. What I'm going to show you is how I use my Lindy's in a range of ways to make backgrounds. So I've just made 2 backgrounds on some cardstocks, which I'm going to turn into artist trading cards, or I'm going to turn one of them into a zine. Now we're going to go to tags. You may have heard Naomi refer to me as the tag queen. There's a reason for this. I love tag. Um, Next to artist trading cards is probably my favorite thing to do is tags. This is just an example of some of the tag books that I've created. It's only a small sample because I am a little bit obsessed with them. I do have a YouTube video on how I construct my tag books, so I can pop a link into that into the chat later on if you're interested. This is one that I did last year. Oh no, sorry, the year before for Halloween, using Nat's cuttables. I did these on a live last year. What I love about tags is you can make really quick little instant affirmation books. I've gifted them as presents to friends and some children in my life. I've made some little ones for some of the kids that I've got in my life. So they're really, really fun. These are sort of the standard size tag, and these are all the tags that Nat sells. This is the larger size. This is the Art by Marlene larger side. This is the one I did for Halloween last year. And many of you probably joined me on that live. Most of the backgrounds in here are actually also made with magicals. And you girls helped me name some of my spooky girls. So this was Rosemary, this was Isabel. I think I've got a Gretchen. There's Gretchen, and an Esmeralda. So tag books are really fun to create, to keep, to gift. Other really great thing I love about crafting on tags is it's where I go to test my techniques before I want to commit to it in a journal page, right? So what I always have on hand is two containers with tags. So I've got one where tags have already been completed and another where I've just been playing, testing techniques, swatching new colors of things that I've bought and products. So when I am in the mood just to create something, I've got this whole pile of ready-made backgrounds ready to go. That's a Lindy's one, done with Lindy's Magicals. And then I have another container with tags that I've finished and I will construct into a book at some point in the future. So, you know, I've always got craft on hand. It's never a dull moment in Tegan's studio. So let's have a play with some of Nat's new stencils. And I'm going to start with this one. Hello, Mel. I know. How lovely is it to be watching live? We don't get to catch you that often. Welcome. Hello, Emily. Thank you for joining us. We're just having some fun with magicals this morning. Nothing too serious. This stencil is called Haru. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. Mhm. And I'm going to grab one of Lindy's Go Girl sprays. We'll just do one tag at a time, I think. Probably smart. This one is Unstoppable Aqua. So I'm only going to do one color on this one, but in a moment we'll grab out a couple. I'm just going to put some washi tape top of my stencil and maybe a touch at the bottom just to keep it nice and flat on my tag. Give it a shake and give it a squeeze. Again, I don't want too much. If you have too much liquid on here, it will bleed under the stencil and smudge the effect that you're trying to make. But just remember, with a lot of mixed media, especially sometimes in the techniques we use with magicals, you do have little control over what the end result will look like. But, wow, look at that. If we lift the tag up, how fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. I'm running out of drying space already. My goodness, I've only started. This is going to be interesting. So I'll just get rid of, excuse me. I mean, I am going to wipe, like I am not a stencil cleaner, but with the magicals, because it is pigment, and each time I add a liquid to it, it will reactivate. I will get rid of it off my stencils as we go. I don't accidentally activate some for a future project that I wasn't intending to. So that's the first one. Let's pick a different stencil. Oh, here we go. Let's use this one. Open field. Yeah, let's go. This one is called Open Field. And for this one, let's be a bit tricky. Let it dry now that I've made it wet. Let's see if we can be a bit clever. So I'm going to do two colours for this one. And we're going to kind of create a border. That washi tape, I don't think is going to sit too well anymore, but that's okay. I'm going to look for a pinky colour. Lena, can you just take this and those piles and move them over there for me, my love? Thank you, sweetheart. Got my happy little darling girl helping me today. Let's go Fierce Female Flush. And just put them anywhere over there, sweet. Just out of my way. Let's go get a girl green. If you caught my live last night, I am a fan of the pink-green combination. Okay, that washi tape is dead. Even though I typed not be watching. I knew what you meant. That's all that matters. All right, let's stick it down a bit more. Because see how, I don't know if you can tell, but it's actually risen a little bit. I've not used this stencil yet, so she's nice and clean. And let's make a nice pink border in the top here. So what did I say I'm using? Fierce Female Flush. I love the names of Nat's colours. Oh, love it, love it. All right, let's give that a lift. Oh yeah, that's quite a nice watercolory effect. You move it back so you can actually see it. Oh, I like that. Nice, nice, nice. And just get rid of that. Now I'm going to turn my tag upside down and we're going to do a green blend on the other side. If this works, wish me luck. Oh, yes, Dad's reminding me to move my body and not my neck. There is a story there. For some of you who have been watching me for a while now, you may have heard me previously talk about some kind of almost how I got into art journaling was I've always been creative. I used to just scrapbooking and I've always done collaging and attempts at being an artist when I was younger, but always very crafty. But you know that Nat's had her journey with cervical cancer, and you know that Naomi found her art journaling, mixed media art through her process with battling breast cancer. I have a similar story. I've actually had two brain tumors. So they've both been removed and they were both fine. Well, fine as in not cancerous, but they have done some major damage to my body, which is really lovely. So this year, in the past 4 months, I've actually, last Friday, I had my third surgery at the base of my skull on the back of my neck. So I am still recovering from that. I did get quite sore last night. So my daddy's just reminding me to be careful with myself. We all need a daddy like mine, I reckon. He's wonderful. So there you go. Let me just bring this up a bit closer. So I have made orangish muddish up here, but I'm not fussed. This is my background layer. We're going to cover it with something, a stamp, an edging, or something. But isn't it a beautiful effect with a bit of a bordery blend on a tag? Really happy with how that one turned out. Whoop, just dropping things all over the place. That's okay. Let's maybe try a mask now. So this is one of Nat's new mask stencils. It's called Maury. I hope I'm not butchering these names. Please forgive me if I am. And let's grab another tag. Oh, thank you, Mel. Yeah, look, we all come to art and mixed media for different reasons, right? I love the therapy of it, has been really good for my mental well-being. I do suffer from quite a bit of general anxiety, which, it's kind of what came first, the brain tumors or the anxiety kind of situation. Doctors are not real clear on that. But that's the thing about the art and art process, that mindful practice every day has just been incredible for my journey. So I'm a massive advocate of making sure that people are taking mindful moments, that they're using creativity, especially if they get joy out of it. And, you know, that's the other thing about this. Oh, I'm in a very pink mood. There's another pink. Um, is that you've got to get joy out of it, right? And that's why I don't stress about perfection. When things go wrong, they go wrong. That's fine. Did I enjoy it? Did I learn something? It's about the journey, right? What have we got going on here? No, that's the wrong one. I'm just trying to find a particular colour that I'm having trouble with. Unfortunately, so my particular brain tumour, it's called a pituitary adenoma. Here we go, Caribbean blue, that's what I want. Go away, pink. No pink. Um, so it has grown back twice, and I did find out that after my last surgery, which was my last brain surgery was October last year, it is going to grow back again. There are still tumour liquids and tissues in there. So, I'll be facing that again. Oh, thank you, Emily. That's exactly what it's all about, right? So, enough about that. Let's move on. Let's talk about lovely things. So masks are a little bit different to stencils in that, well, same, but different. So I've stuck my mask down. We're going to do a bit of a blend again. So this one I've got is Caribbean Blue. Now, the Caribbean Cruise set is one of my favorite sets of magicals. Here are all 5 of the colors. Mango Mania and Pineapple Paradise are just gorgeous. I mean, they're all gorgeous. I don't think I could pick a favorite, but I'm going to, and it's absolutely luscious lime because it's me and it's green. We're going to do a blend here. So I'm going to do a spritz at the top of my blue, Caribbean Blue. Makes me think of sunshine and summer holidays and swimming. Then I'm going to do luscious lime at the bottom there. Not too much, just a touch. You can see that it's blended up a little bit. Wipe the nozzles, pop the lids back on, and let's lift the stencil, the mask. And there you've got that beautiful, what's it called? There's a word for it. It's Sunday, I'm losing all my words. Empty space, the blank space from the mask. Sometimes I'll do a background and then I'll lay a mask down and do another spray over the top or do some paint over the top so you can see something other than white through the mask. Gel plates are really good for stuff like this because you can layer them on. I did have potential plans to pull my gel plate out today, but as I said, I'm a bit sore, so I thought, oh, we might just give that one a miss. Hope I can be forgiven. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you is you can see my mask is still sitting there like that, and it's still got some magicals on the top of it. I'm going to get a blank tag, and I'm going to pop it down, and I'm going to give it a really good press. I am all about using our products to their utmost, no wastage, as little as possible anyway. And now I've got another background. One stencil, couple of quick sprays, 2 perfect tag backgrounds, ready to put in your stash and go for another time, or to complete now if you want to. I think that wet wipe is done. Right. Alrighty. Has anyone online got some of Nat's newer mandala Japanese inspired stencil? They're gorgeous, aren't they? White space. That's the term I was looking for. Thank you, Susan. Goodness, it's almost as if I didn't sleep well. Yeah, does anyone have these stencils? I've used quite a few of them, but they're just absolutely gorgeous. Let me show you some of the mandalas that she's got. So she's got the Celestial Circle, we've got the Lotus, we've got Mori, which is this one I've got in my hand, Sacred Spiral, Cosmic Canvas. I've used that one a few times already, actually, but the Healing Mandala is my favorite at the moment. Oh, they're just small ones. All right, I'll pop this back. Now, last night when I talked about the sprays, I realized that I told you I was going to tell you a trick to clean them out if you're having trouble with your sprayer, and then I don't think I ever did. So the most important rule, as I've said, and I will say again and again, wet wipe, wipe it, stops it clogging up. The other thing you can do is unscrew it, and I'm not going to actually do it in here because I'm inside. Take the straw and the spray head outside, lift it upside down and spray it all out. Good morning, Terry. Um, if that still doesn't work, then the next thing I would do is grab a little spray bottle like this. I would fill it with isopropyl alcohol, swap my sprays into it, and squirt the alcohol through the sprayer. If you've got a clog, the alcohol will break up the pigment, paint, dried glue, whatever's in there. And then you should be right to put it back into your magicals. They're sort of the troubleshooting that I've done in the past. It's worked for me. However, once or twice I have had to buy replacement sprayer tops just because, for whatever reason, those didn't work, but they're not too bad. I think they're about $2 or something. And considering how many sprays I've got, the fact I've only had to do it once or twice, I don't think is too bad at all. Alrighty. Here's something I prepared earlier. You have them all. Yes. I don't have, I've got more shakers and pots than I have sprays, but my collection is building. So in preparation for this morning, I just grabbed a couple of Nat's tags. Yeah, Nats tags are my absolute favorite. From time to time, I do use others, like when I wanted to do the bigger ones with the Art by Marlene set, etc. But as my standard go-to, Nats are absolutely my favorite, not only for price point, but for quality. I have thrown so much mixed media and water and all sorts of wetness at these tags, and I've never had an issue with them ripping or tearing or anything. If you're going to be doing um, reductive stenciling or ghosting or things like that, I do suggest you gesso them, but that's more to protect your products as well. It is a great tip, isn't it? Yeah, it was actually my husband's suggestion. He's a clever cookie. So, what I thought we would do is this might look familiar if you joined me last night. This is the palette that I used last night. So are these. These ones actually didn't dry. Look at that. Clean the spot up. Some of them are still wet from our fun last night. So again, on the theme of getting the most out of your products, I want to show you. I've just got plain water again in a little pipette bottle. I'm just going to add not too much, not as much as if I was mixing up straight from powder. And I'm going to reactivate some of these. And to do that, Tegan, you're going to need a paintbrush, darling. There we go. And I'm going to, let's start with, here we go. We'll start with this one. So I'm going to mix it with my paintbrush, and you can see, I'm hoping you can see that the powder has moved off the bottom of the ceramic dish. Da, 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 da. And now I have got magicals again. Get the most out of your products. I know a few people sort of said to me, oh, the price, it's a bit much for that kind of product. This is the reason why, because of the quality of them, right? There are lots of pigment colors and powders out there. I've tried a few different ones. Some of them are good, but they're limited in what you can do with them. So this is a tag. I have not gessoed it. I've put some of Nat's collage paper on it, and I'm just mixing. And there we go. Now I've finished that off. I didn't waste it. And I really don't like waste. So let's go over here. Now this is a plastic palette. I do find the ceramic palettes are better for magical. So as you can see, while I'm mixing this sort of purpley color, it's not coming off the sides as well as it did with the ceramic one. But I'm still going to be able to pick up this darker purple, and I'm still going to be able to use it and get the most out of my products. Oh, you've got most of the mandala stencils. Yeah. I managed to get the last of them when Nat was down in Canberra the other week for our stamp camp. So I've got them all now. I really want to use Lee's Pride one. That's a gorgeous sort of masky stencil. So there we go. Oh, look, the tiniest bit of purple. We're going to do some more dabbing. Don't want to waste. Don't want to waste. There we go. So I wanted to show you this one specifically to show you how you can reactivate your magicals, but also how well they sit over Nat's collage papers. So if I had a focal piece collage paper, I wouldn't be putting it straight over faces, for example. But especially for the mark making background collage papers, look at how well it takes, and it blends nicely into the page. Yes, you're going to have edges, but we can hide that with stamping, with ephemera, with focal pieces, or you know what? Why do we need to hide it? Because I think it makes a hard line, but it makes a nice hard line. So I'm not unhappy with that. All right, let's use a few more. So again, this is just another tag. No special prep has been taken. We're just going to finish off this palette, hopefully. I didn't wash brushes just then, going between the two different blues, because they're not going to mix to make mud. And I started with the lighter one to the middle one, and now to the darkest. Oh, I might not have enough to finish this palette, but that's okay, because I can reactivate it with water again. Darken up this edge here. One thing I've got to make sure I'm careful to do is keep my product in your view. Sometimes I pull it down too close to me and then you can't see it anymore. So there we go. Perfect. Another tag. What have we done so far? 2, 4, 6. We've done 6 tags already in what? 10, 15 minutes? I did do a little bit of prep beforehand, so I suppose that's not fair. The next thing I have prepped for you is another tag. This time I've used embossing powder. So I use the Seth Apter Wow embossing powder that Nat sells. It is my favorite. And I have used Nat's Urban Graffiti stamp set to just make some marks on here. So I just want to show you, and what I might do is I'll just bring this tag back up the front so you can see. So that's over collage paper. Let's have a play and see what Magicals do over embossing powder. Black embossing powder. Let's go green. Here we go. Over it goes. Oh, me got what I was saying too. Oh, oh goodness. Sorry, guys. If someone wants to remind me in the chat what my thought was before my mum tried to call, that would be great. There's a reason I'm still in my pajamas today, guys. I can't have ceramic or glass when crafting. You have a bad habit of dropping stuff. Oh no! Look, I am not dissing the plastic palettes. They work absolutely fine. I personally just prefer the ceramic ones. I just think they're a little bit easier to clean. And for someone like me who doesn't love cleaning, lazy girl way out, right? But as you can see, I've only got one ceramic pot, thanks to my beautiful friend Susan. Um, so often with the amount that I do at one time, I have to go to plastic anyway. So that's it sitting over the embossed stamps. I'm just going to bring that up to show you. So the embossing acts like a bit of a resist. It doesn't dull the blackness, and it sits nicely through and around it. Now, if you sprinkle and spritz, you'd get a slightly different effect, but no less beautiful, and it would magical out around the embossing powder, which I think is quite beautiful. Now, here's my last prepped tag. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that. It's got white embossing on it. And I used Nat's There's Power in Petals stamp to do this one. So I just wanted to show you the difference between the extremes, the black embossing and the white embossing. So let's go back over here. I'll give this a mix and pop it on. Oh, so you can see that instantly. See how the embossing powder acts as a resist. So the embossing part is not getting coloured by the magicals, but they are sitting beautifully in and around it. So I'm just gonna pop some of this pink on as a bit of a base. Whoops, there's some blue. I didn't wipe. Didn't wipe my mat. Now I'm going to go in with a darker red, and let's give it a overwash in some areas. Crazy. I don't want it to look too much like blood. Red is one of those tricky colours because sometimes it does sort of pop out and look a bit bloody, messy. Just going to pop some dabs of purple in here, not too much. Purple and red won't make mud, but I do want the focal point to still be that beautiful red. Pretty sure that is Nat's red, which is called Trust the Process Red. I think that's what it's called. If I'm wrong, shh, don't tell Nat. So I'll bring that up a bit closer. So you can see the effects. That's the white embossing powder, and that's the black. So they're really quite lovely effects that you can get there. All right, tags out of the way. Oh, I missed some comments. Hello, Donna. Welcome. I pick up little ceramic dishes from the op shops. Oh, that's a great idea, Sharon. I've actually got these two little ceramic dishes. I use them to put ephemera and bits in when we're in them. Awesome. Welcome, Donna. That. All right. Now, I very quickly yesterday showed this little technique, but let's show it again this morning. I'm going to grab a stamp set, and it's Mixed Media Marks 1. And we're going to use all the magicals I used last night because I've actually still got this palette here. I'm not going to reactivate these ones. They're colours I don't really want to use today, but I'm not going to wash it out. I will use them. Get the most out of your products, people. Absolutely. All right, let's go into this blue. I'm going to paint some onto my messy mat. And I'm going to grab one of my mark making stamps. I'm not using a block. I'm just going to dab it around in the Magicals and splatter some accidentally, apparently. Now, this kind of stamping is mark making stamping. We're not looking for perfection. We're not looking for crispness. I love grungy art. And look at that. Grungy perfection. Oh, grab another wet wipe. I've really been reducing my wet wipe use of late. I've been trying not to use as many. I'm becoming a bit more environmentally conscious. So I have been using makeup remover pads instead. So these are the ones I just got them from Kmart to wipe up my spills and things. But the only reason I'm using wet wipes with my Magicals is because they do react. So if I go to use that makeup pad again before I've washed it, which is highly likely because I don't wash a lot, well, I don't wash my craft pads a lot, it would reactivate. So that's the only reason I'm not going to do it with that. Let's go with an alphabet one this time. And then let's go with a nice red. Hopefully there's enough left in there. Hi, Julie. Welcome again. We're just having a play this morning, darling. I'm not making any sort of end particular product. We're just doing lots of backgrounding and mark making to see how you can use your Magicals. Over there. So you can see that that one wasn't, I can't even sort of make the letters out, but I'm not fussed because I'm going for a grungy look. Once again, just make sure you wipe off your stamp each time so you don't get accidental pigment activation when you didn't really want it. Brush, brush. Let's go in. Oh, I don't know. This looks like a really deep crimsony, shimmery color. I think I used this on a Christmas card last night for a gnome hat. Ooh, that's quite nice. Let's go in with, so I'm going to use like a little chevron arrow. Stick it on my finger. Tap, tap, tap. Smush, smush, smush. And I want arrows to go both ways. Some shadowing. And blah, blah. Oh, there we go. Wipe it off. So I don't accidentally shimmer next time. And then I'll get the opposite one, but let's get a new color too. Let's go back to some blue. So this next stamp, it's still the chevron, but it's got the blank space, the white space. Thank you, Susan. The white space. So it'll stamp slightly differently and give us a new effect. So I'm going to shadow it. I'm going to shadow it with the directions we've already gone, just to give that nice balanced contrast. Well, I think that was going the other way, but that's okay. That's okay. So stamping with Magicals. Brilliant, easy, beautiful effect. Mark making. You wouldn't be doing it if you want crisp focal stamps, unless you had the patience of a saint and wanted to stamp diligently. Now, the other thing you can do, other than putting it on your pad and stamping that way, and let's just get another stamp. It's the one that was closest to me, so we're going to go with Nat's There's Power in Petals. If you did want a little bit more of a precise stamp, this is how I would do it. What are we going to go? Oh, we'll finish this red off, shall we? Pick it up and then paint it directly onto your stamp like this. So you'll be able to control and see where the magical is getting through. But it has pulled in my white space gaps of the stamp. So when I flick it over, there is a chance it's going to splatter a bit, but I'm okay with that. And that's how you get more of a crispy stamp. Paint straight on. Let's pick some up. and pop it on like that. Works absolutely beautifully. Um, I've done this with Halloween stamps with like your background skulls and things like that where you don't actually want them in the foreground, but this makes a really nice effect in the background. Pop in balance, Tegan, balance. Well, flipped my whole card. Had a tantrum. So I'll wipe my stamp out. But wipe my mess. And let's grab some leaves. I've got some green there, just a little bit. See how many leaves we can get with this little bit of green. So once again, this is a shimmer one too. I can see the shimmer already. Straight onto my stamp. Straight on to where I want it. What I love about this method is it gives it that really beautiful watercolor effect. I'm all about watercoloring at the moment. I'll show you something in a second. So I'm sort of leaving an intentional white space there because I think I'll fill it with a quote or something. So let me bring that up a bit closer for you. That's how you get a crisper stamp. So mark making with your magicals and stamps, putting it on your messy mat and dabbing into it, or painting it directly onto your stamp and getting that kind of effect. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Alrighty. Yes, please do, Michelle. It works beautifully, beautifully, beautifully. So the other thing I use my magicals for a lot. So you've seen Nat and Naomi, they do beautiful um, journal pages. I'm not as proficient with magicals in my journal. In fact, it does still intimidate me sometimes. I'm okay with them if I'm using for backgrounds, but the way they blend them into their collage papers, I don't think I'm as proficient as those girls, but I also haven't practiced as much. But what I love using them for is instead of using a standard watercolor palette, I mix it up into my palette and I use them actually as watercolors. So now here I'm being really brave. I was brave last night showing you all my hand-drawn gnomes, but this is my watercolor practice book and I do things like this. So these were done with magicals. Um, as you can see, my purple bled out. So it is still, it's a learning curve, right? It's all about practice. And again, that's why I'm doing it in a little handmade book that I made with some, this unfortunately is cheaper watercolor paper because I ran out of expressive stuff when I cut all my card fronts, but that's okay. And that's probably why I had this bleed out, to be honest. So here I was just practicing moving my brush to create leaves. I did a little jellyfish. I attempted some kind of turtle. Um, he's a green blob. He kind of looks like it. Just some sunsets, practicing making bubbles and things like that. But I am most proud of these two pages that I did recently. So these ones here are magicals. This background is magicals, and the green on the inside there of the alien. So in my healing from my surgeries, I've been binge watching X-Files, so hence the alien. But this is a bit of a color portrait of my beautiful dog Bowser that I did the other day. So magicals are absolutely so, so versatile, right? There's so many things that you can do with them. Right, let's go back to the start. Let's see if these pages are dry. Oh, that is not dry. Look at that big puddle there. That's going to take a while to dry naturally. So we're going to help it along. Okay, so if you do have an oopsie, thank you, Michelle. um, if you do have an oopsie and you get a bit of a puddle like this, you can get a piece of ordinary paper towel, dab it in and see how it's going to soak directly into my paper towel. You know what us brand ambassadors should do with Lindy's is start selling paper towel. It looks like a TV ad, doesn't it? So I've just picked up that puddle without destroying the effect on my page. There are always ways to fix things if you have an oopsie. Always, always. So I'm just going to hit this with the heat gun. So bear with me for a moment. A bit of a blast. I tend to try and keep my magicals drying much more because they do look better. When you use a heat gun with magicals, it moves it. See how it's moving? I hope you can see how it's moving the pigment around. and it's not going to dry with as nice effect if we just use it. But I think that's dry enough. I'm not going to cut this page up for you guys. Love the doggo. Thank you, Sharon. My beautiful boxer Bowser. What I'm going to do with this is cut this into ATCs, but I just wanted to show you the effect. You can see this powder that wasn't 100% activated, but I like the gritty texture it's left, so I'm not going to fix it. Same with sort of in here and down the bottom. You can see the explosion of pigment colors in there. That worked really well as well. So pop that aside. The other one I did was with a spray. So this is the difference between the spray and a sprinkle and spritz method. So one product gets you two very different looks and textures. Excuse me. With this one, I think I'm going to turn it into a zine. Does anybody know what a zine is? Pop your hand up. Give me a shout out if you know. That's all right. So a zine kind of like a tag book, but it's not. We're going to use one A4 piece of paper to create this little booklet. Okay, so this is actually a kit that I bought from Nat from Art Stacks, and it was designed by Claire Steed. And I've just used a lot of Art by Marlene things in it, and tip-ins and pull-ups and pull-downs, and I've got tags galore. I'll pop him back in. Then this is one I designed. So this is a sneak peek for you guys. Nobody else will see this until Halloween. This is my tag book for this year's Halloween. So again, just a cute little design with some cute little tags popping in and out like that. So I'm not going to completely create a zine for you today, because we'll be here for hours. It does take time, but I just wanted to show you how you can, yes, it does have a name. I used to call them Zines because it's spelled Z-I-N-E, but then I heard Claire talking about them and she pronounces them zine. I Googled it. It is the double E sound, so it's definitely called a zine. But what I wanted to do is show you, you can use like an Art by Marlene paper pad background if you want, but I prefer to sort of make my own backgrounds. So we're going to turn this page now into a zine. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is fold it in half. Like so. If you do have a bone knife, you can square it off. However, if you don't have a bone knife and you've got an Art by Marlene pen, the angle of the bottom of the brush works as a bone knife as well. And I'm going to fold it in half again. Crease those pages up. And when you open it up, you'll have the 4 quadrants. Then we're going to fold the short edges into the middle. Now, there is a danger here that I'm going to get a small rip because I could feel a little bit of dampness in this page still. So that is Tegan's fault and not the technique's fault, okay, because I haven't dried it properly. All right, so 2, 4, 6, 8 quadrants of equal size. Now what we're going to do is fold our page back in half from the middle. We're going to grab our scissors, and on the edge that's folded, not the open one, I'm going to cut just up to the quarter way. Snip, just like that. So when you open it, you've got a hole in the middle, but it doesn't go all the way to the edges. To fold your zine, you fold it in half lengthways, like this, and then, oh, what am I doing wrong? Tegan. Sideways. Fold it sideways, sorry. Like I said, it's a pajama day. So fold it in half on the short side, fold one that way, this way, and down, and down. You'll figure it out. It's pretty intuitive. But then what happens is it creates little pockets where you can then stick smaller size tags in, or you can glue the edges here and you can have sideways pockets as well. It sort of depends how you want to fold it up. So yeah, that is how to make a little theme for yourselves. But you've already got the background done, so now it's just a matter of adding your embellishments and things that you'd like to do. So that's a fun little project you can do with the Lindys as well. I think we've done really well this morning, team. just going to do a very quick recap. Let's bring back all of the tag backgrounds I've made this morning with you in a relatively short amount of time. Oh, look, they're still coming. They're still coming. Two more. All of the ways in which you can use Lindy's for quick background making, for quick mark making, for texture, for interest, for grunge, 444. Now, I didn't have a look on the website this morning, so please have a check for yourselves. I'm not sure how many of some of the older Lindy's are still in stock, but really it's Sunday. You've had a couple of days to shop now. You should have gotten in early. But don't forget, 25% off Lindy's until the end of today. It is the biggest sale I have ever seen on Lindy's. They are the best prices I've ever seen on these products. And for someone who's collected them at full price for the last 3 or 4 years, trust me, get on this sale while you can. We've got things like the Caribbean cruise. Last I checked, there was only one set left of that for only $26, and you get those 5 fabulous colors you can see in front of you. The autumn leaf spray set is on there with sort of the darker, more autumny, deeper browns and crimsons and this darker green. I'm pretty sure that's the Ponderosa Pine Green that comes in the autumn leaves. I think there was 3 sets left of that. You get in it for $36 instead of 48. Words of Wisdom, which is Nat's, I call it her primary set. I know that she's got the 2, but these are the flat magicals with Trust the Process Red, Commit to It Teal, etc. Unstoppable Aqua, I think, something like that. If you don't have any magicals, Words of Wisdom is the set I suggest everyone to start with. It gives you your best basic colors. They're flat. They're very easy to use. And at the moment, again, $26, you cannot go wrong. If you do want to buy individual shaker bottles, there's quite a few of them on the website at the moment. This one is on there, the one that Michelle asked me about before. So this one's called Darcy and Denim. They are only $8.98, I think, at the moment. They're normally $12 each, so that's a good little deal as well. So I might wrap it up there for this morning. I feel like I went a mile a minute, so I apologize if I did go fast, but you can watch the replay on Facebook for 30 days and then it will be downloaded and put on Nat's YouTube as well. So please be brave with your crafting. Try out these techniques. Give it a go. The worst you're going to do is make mud, have a little tear, and it is just paint and paper. Use those products to within an inch of their life, my beautiful creative friends, and have a gorgeous afternoon. Look after yourselves. Bye.